Good morning, guys. Welcome to SipNchat with me, Azem, and of course, Jade, Gwenny, Edita, CPL Mathis, Stuart, think it's Beyonce Johnson.
What?
That's the name, Jade. It's what it is. I don't make the rules, Jade.
Good morning, guys.
And I like to say a pleasant good morning on behalf of myself, since Jade doesn't say hers. To everybody listening, everybody who's logged in, everybody who's been a part of what it is that we're doing here. Appreciate you waking up in the mornings and hanging out with us. Those of you who are watching this afterwards, big up yourself as well. Thanks for your support. Hope you guys having a great day.
I hope so as well. And happy International Women's Day to all of you beautiful women. Y'all deserve love and appreciation every day. Right?
Indeed. Indeed. Jade, so just before we get into it, how are you doing? Just want to make sure you're good. We need to take some time and discuss any deep-rooted issues, then, I mean, we could also do that.
No, I'll leave all my issues for tomorrow.
Oh.
It's Thursday.
But how are you doing, really?
I'm actually I'm doing very well. I have 0 complaints currently, you know. My morning was busy because getting a toddler to cooperate early in the morning, such a task.
Oh, but I could imagine.
Yeah.
I could imagine.
He wants to do his own thing, and I want him to do the thing that I'm doing.
Which is getting ready?
Yes. And his thing is trying to figure out how many ways he could play with your food.
Yeah, I could see that being a bit of a conflict there. Yeah. Just don't feed him?
No.
No? Okay.
That's...
You're just trying to come up with solutions, you know, Jade.
That's not a good one. I'm not even going to lie to you.
Okay.
But thanks, though. Appreciate it.
Oh, well, I'm happy to hear that you're doing good.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Let me see, what's happening in my life?
I know you had a very difficult meeting yesterday.
Difficult?
No?
I wouldn't say it was difficult. It was...
Vibes.
Yeah, it was interesting. Apparently I'm supposed to have more today. Watch it. You get to a point where you're just getting fed up and be telling people in meetings. Yeah, I think people stand to believe a lie now.
No, I don't see why they would think you're lying though. You're the type of person that would stay in a meeting.
Yeah, I really should be the person that would just walk out, isn't it?
However, you can't.
Oh boy.
You have to save the nation constantly.
Oh boy. Well, I need to get in the real meetings. I need to get in the meetings where the money running and so.
Same. Where are those?
Yeah, nobody does let me know about those meetings.
They need to.
I don't understand what's happening.
They really need to, you know. Think about it. The amount of ideas and suggestions and all these good things we give on a day-to-day basis.
That's why they don't have to cast the meeting. We give out all the information.
But that's not our best. We could do more. We could do more, you know.
They don't even know we're holding back.
Yeah. We just can't give them for free. Yeah. But we're going to be rich soon. I feel it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely that's the plan.
I just wake up with this like tingle.
The rich tingle?
Yeah. You ever feel it? Like, ooh, we're close.
I thought it was gas.
No. Yeah. You're tingling wrong.
I'm tingling wrong. Not sure.
You gotta tingle a little better than that.
Let me tell you something. When you get tingled by, you get scared one time, you start to go back over what you did the past nights.
So, you know that happened to me recently, right? Like, I was having palpitations in my chest.
Oh. Okay.
Wrong tingle.
Okay, yeah.
Wrong
You
feeling,
have to
eh?
specify the tingle, Jade.
My bad.
You have to specify the tingle.
Clearly, we on two different planets right now.
But yes, heart palpitations. Yeah.
And it happened back to back. Like, I got scared out of my sleep. My phone rang. You ever got woken up by a phone?
Yes, it's not fun.
You ever got woken up by your iPhone?
No.
It's equivalent to you being in the army and a drill sergeant shouting you awake.
Wow.
Like, dead in your ear.
Wow. Okay.
That's how our iPhone wakes you up, very aggressively.
Mm.
But yeah, and that, I don't know what that triggered, but I started having random heart palpitations, I think, or chest palpitations. I don't know what it was.
Getting woken up out of your sleep is not a good thing.
It's not pleasant at all.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. The worst is when you just kind of get to sleep and you get woken up and then you get that headache that comes with it. Man, that headache will be one of the worst type of headache, man.
No, you're cranky for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Walking around all pissed off.
When you try to get sleep and then you don't get it.
Sleep is very important.
You get into the point when I lay down, I put in my phone on silent.
Welcome to the club, friend.
I'll deal with whatever I have to deal with once I get up, man.
Welcome to the club. I have my phone on Do Not Disturb. Majority of the time when I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Because I'm easily awoken by vibrations, ringing, anything.
Okay.
So what I did is put my phone on Do Not Disturb, but I took out certain contacts.
Yeah. That's what you do. Like, same thing here. Like, my mom is in my Do Not Disturb. My sister. That's about it.
Everybody else.
That's about it.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, my best friend was in there, but she don't call me, so she out.
Not even your father?
Pops is a man.
Oh.
Pops ain't calling. Well, we are who everybody is called when they have problems.
Oh, so
We handle our things ourselves.
So your father don't call nobody.
My name and my father know my number.
Wow. Mr. Bailey, he's lying.
Big up Pops one time. He don't
Don't
call
let
me.
him slander you.
No man, he don't call me.
I know I've been there.
When he calls me?
Yes. So I know he don't call you.
Yeah, you need to call me to make sure that I know that he doesn't actually need me.
Sometimes we need a little reminder. So where you want to go first? We could talk about...
I don't know, because you ain't sending one sheet lately.
No, it's surprises.
You can't surprise me, Jade.
As in the one sheet is the same one sheet, you know, I have to just click the link, you know.
I don't.
You don't change.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you don't. I realized that after I made 20 of them in my phone, and then my phone just stopped having space. Then I realized, I don't need to do that.
So what I need to do to get to it, like I need to, I don't use the higher level like options in WhatsApp and stuff. So when you start the message, what I mean, like I could see it easy.
Yeah.
So when it doesn't start, how you get to it? I could start a message, but then how you get to the start messages?
So when you, I feel like my father just asked my question.
Yeah, I don't study them thing there.
When you start, right? Let me see, start.
They're busy trying to figure out what's going on with the AI. I can't study about start
Oh
messages.
no, they're taking over. Where is it?
See? You see what I'm saying? You and I can't find it.
Wait, no, it's supposed to be there.
You and I can't find the message.
No, you're right. But another day though. Just wait, no, you make me can't find start
Okay,
messages. See there? So you have to click on the person's profile and you'll have start messages. So you click on the profile.
Yeah, but
and then you click
but
start
it's
messages.
in our chat. Oh, okay. I think that's it.
Oh, I almost showed you a very interesting message just now, boy.
Well, you know, whatever I see, I don't see.
That's true.
Whatever I see, I don't see.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
Need more friends like you.
I don't get on about the business.
Yeah. We're fast as a nation, but at least you're not.
But yeah, people that show me their phone and I still don't see it.
People that tell me things that, and then I'd be like, oh, and then they tell me something because they told me a story similar to it before, and I don't remember because I don't be paying attention to people news like that.
I don't look on people's phone at all.
No, that's why you don't touch your own hat.
I mean, even talking about like, I just talk about just anybody.
Oh.
Like I don't look on people's phone at all.
You look at somebody's phone, you're a whole accomplice to a murder. Don't do it. Don't do it, friend. So, like, let me ask you a question. If you saw a message in my phone even though I know you don't look, let's say you accidentally see one about me murdering somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gonna call the police?
Jade, I just tell you, I don't see nothing. I just see and don't see Jade.
That's the energy to keep.
Then guess what? Like, I gotta go find a new co-host. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, because now I lock up. Can't catch myself. But, yes, let me surprise you with some articles. So it says, oh dear.
You're surprising yourself now.
Yeah, man. We could talk about a bill passed in Parliament for nurses and midwives. We could talk about a structural reform to boost the economy suggested by the ETCB governor.
My partner, that's my partner, but yeah.
Or we could talk about why Antigua seems to be alone in the plans for annual yet. You want to start home first?
Yeah, let's start home and then move across to the cousins.
Okay. Uncle Gaston is upset again, as usual. Lord, show us up with good uncle.
Gaston is stressing me out with a mustache.
The man look
Why?
I don't know.
Why?
But I feel like it, I love it. Who is me to tell him about he wants mustache?
I mean, you have your own views.
Yeah. But I mean, he gonna study us.
No, he don't have to study us, but...
Yeah, you know, but people probably don't tell him that his mustache look very like...
I don't know about Hitler. I just not look
Hitler
weird.
vibes.
Like, why would you cut off all the rest of your mustache and just left this
Give
piece?
me big Hitler vibes. That's how Hitler mustache was.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is...
I don't know. I don't know why that's a trend.
Yeah,
you know what?
I don't even think it's a trend. Like, he's the only person I see doing it now.
Oh, you know what else about me? Sorry if this applies to you. But seeing you does irritate me so. You're not a man, right?
I don't know where you're going with this, you know. I don't know where you're going with this, Jade. I don't know where you're going with this. But go ahead.
Finish now. You're not a man that lost all of this, like the complete center gone. But like they got sides, like they got a fence going on the back of the head. Why?
That's what you have, Jade. That's what you have.
But why?
What I mean, why? Maybe they want to cut off all of your Jade.
But you're cutting it off for them. That was a personal attack though.
But no, he don't fall into that category.
That's why I want when he come out here. You're close now. I feel like you're getting there. That's okay, friend. I'm gonna judge you, but that's okay.
Kingsters do not approve.
Not at all. That reminds me of when we workers used to have 2 hairstyles.
Yeah.
That used to bother me too.
Well.
But that's still my friend, and I don't judge him.
Actually, I don't get mad about baldness. I would laugh at a guy who don't have a beard, but
the baldness thing is where
the baldness is sensitive.
Now I like baldness.
You don't mind guys with bald head and so. Okay.
My father is a bald man since I small.
That's true. I don't think I've ever seen the father with here.
And he had jerry curls, very long jerry curls.
That's what he ain't gonna hear now.
Oh.
All them product.
Like the first time I discovered, I know we're off on a rant, but the first time I discovered like a picture of my dad, right? With jerry curls, I said, oh, yeah. That was a hot thing, man. What did my jerry curls do? Well defined too, you know? Yeah. When he used to work on a ship.
Oh, okay.
So he had the white suit too.
Oh.
Yeah, my father was the problem.
Okay. Vibes. Now I'm trying to keep my hair as long as possible.
Well, you're going good. You ain't look like some of the best man I've seen around the place.
But hey, watch your.
At what point should you cut them off? Do you think?
Yeah, I don't think there's any point, but there's a point where you need to start covering them. Yeah.
Like a famous cricketer, we know.
Famous cricketer. Is it famous cricketer, we know? Oh, actually, let's get to the article, yeah. Let's get to the article. Let's get to the article, Jade. You were saying something about the nurses, I believe.
I'm sorry. Whew. Well, boy. It's your start, you know? It's your start. There's plenty of famous people that need to cut out the locks though. It's time. It's time. But Parliament passes the Nurses and Midwives Registration Amendment Bill for 2023.
Okay.
Yes, during
This was an issue. This was an issue.
It was. Did we speak about this? No, it wasn't yesterday.
No, we didn't. We hadn't spoken about this in a while, but we had spoken to the representative from the Nursing Association.
You know, I had to block her. I couldn't take the broadcast them no more. Yeah, I had to block her.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm funny when it comes to broadcast. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure people block me because I send the SipNchat broadcast daily. But I understand. Men vex with you for that. Because I too have blocked people for sending me way too many. But mine doesn't make sense. Theirs was getting a little too incoherent for me. I was like, what's happening here? Let me just take myself out of this craziness because it's getting weird. It's getting weird. But yeah. I wonder if she still has that job. The bills, the Banking Amendment Bill 2023, Eastern Caribbean Central Bank Amendment Bill. What? Oh.
Which one are we talking about?
Listen.
We talking about the nurses or we talking about ECCB?
That in the sentence though. Let me start over. The bills, the Banking Amendment Bill, Eastern Caribbean Central Bank Amendment Bill to 2023.
You missing some commas in there?
Nurses.
There are commas in there.
The comma was that?
Okay.
Yeah. Here's the comma now. 2023 Nurses and Midwives Registration Amendment Bill. 2023. You catch that?
I think so.
Okay.
2 bills.
Yes. The latter, the Nurses and Midwives Registration Amendment Bill 2023, received its second reading, where the amendment would change language in the second schedule, paragraph 11, to change the frequency with which nurses upgrade their skills and register in the Federation's nurse registry. Changing the registration of nurses from annual to biannual has been an issue for the nurses, as regionally and internationally it is not a regular practice. The mover of the bill, Prime Minister Drew, explained that while the current practice has been to have nurses in the Federation register annually, doctors do not have the same obligation. Here is St. Kitts and Nevis, a doctor registers once. I think that's supposed to be in. But anyway, that's it. I don't remember if I even had to pay any money. Maybe I paid a little something. But the nurses are asked to register every single year. And even when you look at what's happening across the region, and I sought to find a place across the region where nurses have to register yearly, I didn't come across any. But just in case there is one out there that I missed, I leave room to be corrected. Parliamentary Representative for Nevis 10, Honorable Eric Evelyn, lent his support to the bill and asked if there was any consideration for reducing or abolishing the registration fee to support the nurses. The Nurses and Midwives Registration Amendment Bill was passed without any adjustments to the amendments to the bill. So what a change?
No, the amendment bill, they didn't change. So they had the first reading, second reading, they didn't make any amendments. It passed safely through the House.
Okay.
So they changed the one that was there before.
Okay.
So they didn't amend the amendment bill. Let's put it that way.
So there's still an issue then?
No. The amendment bill is to fix the issue.
What was the outcome of that? Like, what did they change it to?
From
biannually to annually?
No, from annually to biannually. So the nurses had to register every year, right? What they're saying, what they were saying is that is not in line with what the rest of the Caribbean or even the rest of the world does generally. So it was an issue, and so they sought to fix that issue by bringing the regulation more in line with, what the rest of the region and the rest of the world is doing.
Love it. I'm sure the nurses are pretty happy about that one.
I like the idea from Eric Evelyn about
removing the fees.
Removing the fees. If it's just, especially if it's just a registry. So, for
Yeah.
instance, if there isn't, like I don't know what the prerequisites are.
How
Like,
much is the fee though?
I don't remember. I don't remember. Something may telling me $400, but I don't want to believe that's it. But yeah, the idea, especially if you don't have to like do some exams or go through X amount of training or be certified in such and such and such and such annually, and it's just a matter of just making sure that you're on the list. And then
Yeah, waive them fees, man.
I know there's always a lot of I don't say a lot, but there are learning opportunities for the nurses. I know they have workshops all the time and stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I hope they do consider waiving the fees. Honestly, I think it would be helpful, especially since we definitely need nurses. Like, we can't survive without them. So y'all can't hear. Y'all can't hear who, me? What? Let me see. Let me just check. Somebody said we can't hear, so let me see if I could hear me while talking.
But it's gonna be a delay. I mean,
I think it would be
helpful. Yeah, you're good, man.
Yeah. Since we definitely
The Kingsters on it, man. Yeah, the Kingsters on it.
Well, okay, let's see. Guys, put in the chat if you could hear me speaking about the next article, which is with your friend, the ECCB governor, who suggested that structural reform be put in place to boost the economy of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Okay.
It's going good so far.
No, man, look, very, very intelligent, man.
Well, he has to be. It's not like politics, I'm pretty sure. It is?
Everything is politics.
Damn. I had more faith in that structure at least. But
Is the politicians in charge? The board is the finance ministers of all the islands.
I'm in the government. I'm in the governor. He's a politician?
The monetary council, is the finance ministers from all the islands.
Yeah, I know that, but it's
so there's the ones who make the decision. They're the ones who place who the governor is and so.
Yeah, but he's still not a politician, is he?
Political appointment.
Okay. That don't make you a politician, Azem.
Yeah, we had this discussion.
So if you're a political appointee, you're a politician?
At the highest levels.
Oh.
You have to play politics.
I know that, but are you an actual politician?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you consider the let's see, who would be a good example? Do you consider the chief of police to be a politician?
The chief of police? No.
The commissioner is what we call them here. The commissioner of police, you don't consider him a politician? Okay.
Do you? Well, clearly you do.
No, not really. They're not a politician in the sense that, they're running and whatever. But they're part of the political class.
Somebody got me on the TV, man. Love it. They were saying they can't hear, but I think it's the TV.
Yeah. They're listening to streaming there, man.
Yeah. And the people on the live that I could hear, so I think we're good. Somebody shouting after me saying, Jade, it's all politics. Witty, it is too early in the morning for you to be typing in caps.
Let's get to the article, see what are you saying?
Yes. So, the governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Mr. Timothy N.J. Antoine, said the Federation is on a path of economic recovery, but highlighted the need for structural reform in the Federation to boost the economy. During conversation with the governor on Thursday night last week, Governor Antoine said there is a need for a revamp of the education sector in St. Kitts and Nevis. He suggested a shift from subjects to skills so as to ensure more job creation and opportunities. When we say structural reforms, we think of things like the revamping of our education system. That's a big one. Human capital is perhaps the single biggest investment we can make to change the trajectory of our economies. I have been asking the question to our leaders and our region, our people. What will it take to double the size of our GDP? In the case of St. Kitts and Nevis, that GDP is about $3 billion. Well, one thing for sure is skills. We have to make a shift in our education system from subject to skills. Skills that actually could get people employed. Skills that could allow people to create their own jobs, because I have to be honest, some of what we're doing right now, well-intentioned as we may be, are not fit for purpose. The business environment too needs restructuring, Antoine said. He expressed that the length of time taken to process documents also has significant implications on the business sector and by large the economy. The business environment, how long does it take to get things done? It cannot take months and months to be able to consolidate a few lots to start construction. It's a simple example, but the frustration that many face every day. If you think about that bottleneck and what that does for the economy, you have a loan approved in a financial institution, bank or credit union. That project cannot get started because you're waiting on the permit or you're waiting on a piece of paper in the registry. The construction or the contractor cannot work. That means the person who has to work cannot work. There is a whole range of implications that flow from that one bottleneck. Want to hear what he said about renewable energy?
Yeah, sure.
In addition, Antoine acknowledged the work of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis as it relates to renewable energy. He said it is important that the project is executed, which will help lower the energy supply costs for businesses and domestic users. Clearly, to build our resilience, we have to be less dependent on the rest of the world for our energy. Our energy security requires us to invest in our renewable energy sources. So we welcome what is being proposed here in St. Kitts and Nevis. Irrespective of geothermal and solar PV. I hope you all need to know what I mean. We believe that those are very important to lower the cost of energy, which has direct implications for business, households, and public finances, but also to be able to create economic activity. He said that he should expect economic growth of 4.5% or higher in turn and public infrastructure. He also added that in 2024, most likely 2025, the Federation's economy will increase by 5%.
Okay. I think sound advice. I think these are all things that we've been hearing about for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's not, the issue that I have is that we hear about these things all the time, right? The one thing that I believe we should also look into is if we really want to grow the economy, we're gonna have to get into industries and fields that allow us to earn foreign exchange. Meaning, it's not about just creating jobs here to serve here.
Yeah.
Right? We're gonna have to create avenues for us to provide either services or goods to other countries, people outside of St. Kitts. I think that's one of the ways we're gonna have to really do that, and also focus on jobs that are scalable, right? So that would be things in engineering, things in just basically the whole IT and technology field.
Yeah.
Like really pushing into those fields, I think is gonna be very important.
Yeah.
You could make one app, right? You make one app, that's a very scalable thing. So now you spent your time, you made this one app, and then it's on 100,000 phones across the world at $2 a piece, with monthly subscriptions and all of these types of things built in. You see how much money you could make doing that, right? So stuff like that is what I'm really hoping to see pushed into. So yeah, for sure, skills, that is one of the big things. But a lot of times when we hear people start talking about skill-based stuff, they start talking about mechanics, carpentry, metalwork, that kind of thing, which is great, and there's always going to be a need for that.
Yes.
And I encourage people to have those skills. Just always being able to work, right?
You could build something.
Yeah, I could build little things here
Okay,
and
okay,
there,
okay,
man. I ain't total. That don't mean I like to do it. But
But if you have to,
if
you
I have
could.
to, if I have to.
Okay.
I did woodwork. I did in school. I did both woodwork and metalwork to a point. To a point.
I'm also very happy that he mentioned the fact that in the Caribbean, well, in St. Kitts or in the Caribbean, I'm sure, it takes way too long just to process simple stuff.
Yeah, that's been the government bureaucracy is really a huge issue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even the way things are done sometimes. I mean, it took me 3 months to get a business license. Ridiculous, like 3 months,
Yeah,
4 months, something like that it was.
That should make sense because if I'm opening a business, I'm pretty sure I need it to be opened as quickly as possible. You can't have me. First of all, for businesses, sometimes people go and take loans to buy different equipment and all of these things. No, if I don't have a business license, I can't operate. If I can't operate, I can't pay back the loan. You're putting me in a very tight jam. I think things can be sped up, and they need to be sped up. It's very ridiculous.
Even just in terms of payment, just government paying people. Like that.
I feel like we cussed about this already, but it should not take me 3 months to get paid for a job that you hired me to do. You knew that I was going to do the job. You knew that you would have to pay me.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it takes you I don't know why it takes you this long to then go and have to get somebody to sign off on it. You clearly had to have somebody sign off on it in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Just do everything one time instead of making me wait, having to go from this department to the treasury. Like,
even at this day and age, like you have people like leaving one government department and jumping in their personal vehicle to drive down to town to drop off a folder with a couple pieces of paper in it.
It don't make sense.
Like this is things are happening, and
we know it does. We know that the technology is there, so it's not a matter of not having the correct tools or the correct technology. Y'all just need to implement them and train people and teach them how to use them. It's simple. We use technology daily, so when you can make it easier for the people that even work at your office, because nobody wants to have to do that. You know how difficult it is to find parking in town?
You mean how impossible it is?
Oh, sorry.
You reach town 8:01, Jade, you ain't parking now, yeah. You gotta go by Washi. I'll go Port Zante and pay $5, yeah?
Yeah, it is ridiculous.
I'll cross my tongue.
Yeah, small little chud. Small little chud. You have
Yeah.
to go all the way across the town to park.
Yeah.
Because there is zero parking in town. So instead of making your employee their life difficult for no reason, just simply do it electronically.
Yeah, but we really gonna have to find ways to. We have to make shifts. It can't be same old, same old. Even when we start talking about diversification, I keep saying we don't diversify around here. We just shift. So instead of like adding more things to the basket,
no, it is.
We just like, oh, that they ain't really doing what we want to do. Let's go over here.
They don't even try to like maneuver or tweak it in a way. Like I don't feel like they sit and take the time to figure out, okay, well, why exactly isn't it working? And let's see what else we could try. Like it's always, okay, this ain't working, let me go to something else. That don't make no sense.
As a matter of fact, I don't even agree with that. I think what really that happen is we don't go, it ain't working, but guess what? This is how we do it, so keep it just so. I think that's what we normally do see. The vast majority of the times, that's what it is. Everybody you talk to can admit that this isn't working, but it continues to not work for decades. It's
very strange, but anyway. Sound words from the governor.
Yeah, think about it, listen.
I hope so. Remember you got a game on, you know?
Oh yeah, call him so again.
Yeah. Anyway, let's jump over to our cousins. So what's happening over in Antigua? Like, why you have this mustache, sir?
I don't even want to see it. Just continue here.
Oh my God. PM says Antigua seems to be alone in the plans for a new yacht. You might be right with that. you might be correct, sir. Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister Gaston Brown says the island seems to be on its own with regard to the establishment of a new company to replace Liat 1974 Limited, which collapsed in 2020. The Antigua-based Liat 1974 Limited entered into administration in July 2020 following increased debt and the impact of the coronavirus. The airline is owned by the governments of Antigua and Barbuda, Barbados, Dominica, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. A downsized version of the carrier has been operating at a reduced schedule with a limited workforce since November 2020. But Brown said he now recognizes that Antigua and Barbuda is practically standing alone in terms of having an entity that is owned by a group of governments. What seems to be the prevailing thinking at this time is that most heads are of the view that there are sufficient assets within the region. In fact, there is a study that was done by the Caribbean Development Bank as well as the OECS, and that was the meeting I attended in St. Lucia. And the consensus was that there are sufficient assets to service the region. Brown said that there are primarily private sector held assets, and they don't see the need for the governments to invest in any national airline or regional airline. Last month, Caribbean community leaders ended their 44th regular summit in the Bahamas. Nowhere close to solving the woes being experienced by regional travelers following the collapse of interregional airline, LIAT in 2020. Listen, LIAT been having issues since we were a little boy. So, it's not...
He was a little boy?
Maybe. You never know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Live you learn.
Yeah. And so, I would understand why all of the other prime ministers probably tired of beating a dead horse. Except Gaston. He's holding out faith.
But we know why Gaston holding out faith.
Yeah.
The hub is there.
Mm-hmm.
LIAT has been a big part of political debate, political discussion, election issues over all these years.
Mm.
Like LIAT has been a big part of Antigua, Barbuda politics for decades now. And
he's surprised that nobody's studying him.
No, but let's be honest. I keep saying this all the time. Like the way governments function doesn't lend itself to private practice. Like it's going to probably lose money.
Mm-hmm.
Is it that like LIAT didn't have the potential to be a successful business? Yes, it did. It needed to be managed properly.
As all things should be.
Right, and that becomes difficult when you start involving governments. Tell y'all, if governments start to sell weed, that's it, they lose money.
Yeah, boy. The weed industry going on the toilet. Down the toilet.
I don't know. I don't think that LIAT should dissolve and close down, and that's not what I think. I do believe that the structure needs to change. This idea of LIAT as this owned by these Caribbean governments, I think that need to change.
Maybe they should sell it to like an international buyer. Like what? Richard Branson didn't want to buy it, or was it something else that he wanted to buy?
I'm not sure, but there have been people who have offered to buy LIAT. I don't know if they're still interested now.
Why y'all holding on to LIAT like this?
Again, it's especially for Antigua, it's a big part of their politics.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure that he realized long ago that this wasn't working.
Yeah, but that don't mean that the people that voting for you recognize it in the same way. Meaning you can... It's a political issue, Jade. Like people...
As everything is.
Yeah, so... But no, in this case, they actually own it. Like it's owned by the states. It's owned by the states. What I think needs to happen is they need to step back. I think the question should not be, how can we save LIAT? The question should be, how can we foster reasonable, reliable, interregional travel and then figure out where does Liat fit into that solution. Like that, I think the whole approach is wrong. Like this idea of trying to, because what happens is in trying to save Liat, what you end up doing is creating an environment where the private carriers, you're fighting against the private carriers, because all they're studying about is how do we create a situation that's best for Liat.
I'm pretty sure yesterday I was looking at either a post on Facebook or something, and it was breaking down the cost for, I think, is a Liat flight out of Antigua.
Like we see it every time we book a flight.
Oh
like,
my God.
Like I try to talk about this. It's 50% to 55% is taxes.
Yeah, the taxes was more than the actual ticket cost.
Yeah, I will tell you 50 to 55%.
That is complete utter nonsense. Y'all want us to fly like this? Y'all want us. I'm pretty sure they don't want us to leave these countries, as in. It's starting to feel like they want us to stay where we are, because you cannot tell us you want to encourage inter-regional travel, yet we can't. You're pricing it in a way that we can't afford it. Everybody not going to take up $1,500 just to go to Antigua from St. Kitts. That don't make no sense. We've right there. If inter-regional travel was better, I guarantee you would have seen more people flying.
I'm beginning more and more to recognize that one of the biggest problems with the Caribbean is just logistics. I'm waiting. It's gonna happen. What? Some one of these islands is gonna have a ministry of logistics. At some point, somebody gonna recognize it and somebody gonna do it, and then you can just become a norm.
It's too late for us?
No.
Are we still fresher?
No, I really think that is a huge part of the Caribbean. When I talking about each island, I'm talking like Caribbean on a whole. We have a logistics problem. We can't move people. We can't move cargo.
Nothing.
We can't move nothing between the region. Like, and in a world where really and truly logistics is what takes you from just being just another entity. For instance, people think Amazon, like what Amazon is. Amazon don't sell books and shoes, and so that's not what Amazon is a logistics company. That's what they do.
They facilitate the sale.
They're a logistics company.
Yep.
They manage logistics.
They move things around.
So, I mean, we have a problem with that. We can't move people. We can't move cargo. We could barely move things in the island itself. So.
Side note, right? You realize that there were some logistic companies here charging you air carrier price while you're using the boat?
What?
Yeah. They're charging you the same price that would charge you as an air carrier, but your stuff coming on the boat.
People wicked in this world, yeah.
Okay, the nasty heaven, Azem, sorry, the nasty heaven.
People wicked in this world.
Because how?
What? Yeah. And this thing is, people don't understand. This is why you end up. This is why you end up. How should I put it? These are the things that end up fostering black market activity. Smuggling, people figuring out, anybody coming from the States tomorrow? Anybody coming down tomorrow? Yeah. Anybody coming down next week? Anybody coming from Miami? Because
they're being ridiculous, Azem. Because they're being ridiculous.
People will find ways around things. Like it's.
We just do it all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Liat, like I said, I think what has to happen is the governments, including the ones that are no longer with Liat, are part of Liat, or the, how should I put it? The like all the islands, particularly CARICOM, in for instance, needs to change the focus of like what they're doing. Like stop thinking about how can we save Liat, think about how can we facilitate proper inter-regional travel, and then figure out where Leah fits into that solution. That's when it happens.
But that should be common sense, because if y'all could fix Leah all y'all want, you know. If we can afford the tickets them, what y'all fixing it for?
Yeah, I don't even call that a fix.
If y'all feel like y'all could get your full fleet back in the air, who going up in them? We can't afford it. We cannot afford it. That is the bigger issue.
The truth is, they have just been mismanaged.
Yeah.
You can't have a company that is, in essence, have all government advantages that you could possibly imagine, and constantly losing money, constantly getting people whether it is underground workers, whether it is pilots, whether it is, they don't call them air hostesses anymore. What do they call them now?
They don't?
I think that's politically incorrect. But you know how I feel about them things there, so. But the stewardess, maybe I don't even know which. See, I don't even know which one is.
I think it's air hostess that call them.
So stewardess is the one that's offensive, apparently.
Man, I've never heard this, friend. It's a new one for me.
Okay, but yeah, all these people striking. I guess it's.
I would too, if you can't pay me. You know how much money pilots deserve? As in the air, flying a big mechanical object filled with people. It only takes one little thing to crash a plane. And y'all telling them that they should accept less because you can't afford it? No, what, man. Y'all just print money all the time. Well, y'all can't afford stuff. Money ain't even real. Like, it don't even make no sense. Y'all could afford it. Y'all just refuse to give people what they're worth. And that's why they're taking on a plane. Well, no. They don't have planes. They don't have captains.
How much of them they got now? Is 7?
They have 7? Let me tell you.
How many planes actually in Leah fleet right now working?
Flight attendants apparently is what it's supposed to be called.
Flight attendants?
Leah.
They're attending the flight? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Leah planes.
Yeah.
One out of the 3 of them that we just call correct.
I don't even. That's a whole different.
Yeah, what? Leah retired a fleet, including is Leah.
Maybe they only got 4 planes by now. Maybe 4. At some point we'll figure it out. But
fleet. What? Total 2.
It's 2 planes they have now. 2 planes. I wouldn't be surprised, Jade.
Wow.
I really thought it was 4, but 2
Wow.
makes sense. The way the flight's going right now, it might be just 2 planes for real.
Definitely. Yeah, instead of just one Leah into the ground.
There had people that came here that started to turn later on you. They want them.
What happened for it? Success here or something?
No, because the man was implementing things like bonuses when people hit their targets.
Imagine.
And them kind of thing. Things that you would see other airlines doing
How
to encourage things like productivity.
How dare he?
Man, walk up, I've been paying them nearby.
You're mad.
Man say, well, how y'all ain't paying it? How y'all ain't gonna pay? Man had late actually turning a profit for the first time in 40 years. The man walk out. I know they fire him. The man walk out, boy, I can't work with everybody. I really don't. I don't really want this to work. Like, that's what happening. I realize now y'all don't want this to work, so yeah, wasting my time. Because y'all gonna make people stone me because they ain't got the bonus.
Exactly. No, I with him. If it's not working out, leave.
Yeah.
Poor Leah boy. Poor traveling in the region. I bring on some more boats. Yes, since this is what we got to do.
Yeah, McKenna doing it right now.
Yeah.
No more people tell me they went to McKenna.
I might got to do that.
Oh, McKenna go? You leave here on Friday, come back Monday, right?
I will come back the same Friday.
Really?
Yeah.
To St. Martin?
Mm-hmm.
Can't be to St. Martin. Because by the time you reach there, it's time you
Takes you 3 hours to get to St. Martin.
Sick. Wow, okay. But you can't come at the same day?
Let me see. I'm pretty sure that was something that they said, that you could go to St. Martin for a day.
Or you could go to Stacia and Sabre for a day.
What is on my lip?
But St. Martin sounds like a stretch by.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what I remember them saying.
It could be, but I'm just saying, like, how long? I mean, you only get like an hour in St. Martin then.
You only know.
The end of the day.
Somebody said they learned the other day that flight attendants don't even get paid well. Yeah.
I'm not even going on that road. I'm not even going on that road.
Why not, friend?
Huh?
Why not?
What do you think determines how much somebody gets paid?
The scale of their work and what it is that it entails, and also the risk. No?
Yeah, I think things like that for sure.
King say bought us breakfast?
I think the answer is no.
Yeah, that's the fact. Not even a little nuts or nothing, eh?
But nothing for us, but nothing for us. But we just here banging.
Yeah. Hungry. I need to start eating breakfast now, but anyway.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think there's any jobs out there that people are overpaid for?
Yes, however, I don't know which ones that they are.
So what would you say? What would be, off the top of your head, name one job that you think people in that field are overpaid for?
So why? No, the politicians don't get paid that much.
I think we have this narrative where we just go, everybody deserves more money. And I'll just be like, how y'all coming up with that?
Somebody asked what I want for breakfast. They asked what I want, eh? They just asked what you want for breakfast.
Veggie omelette sounds good today.
They heard you.
But yeah, I think we have this narrative where, we just walk out, everybody's underpaid, which might be the case.
Somebody says McKenna goes to Stacia for a day only, Sabre and St. Martin is weekends.
Yeah, that's
12 weeks or more. Okay, you're correct.
Yeah, Stacia I could see, but St. Martin, but that would be rough by. Yeah, the weekend.
That's where you want it from.
Options, either rituals Walk Nation.
Okay, they heard you again. Up to now, they didn't say I want it.
You just relax now, man. You just relax.
Nation, Kingston and
Walk Nation food is good for real. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to Walk Nation.
Indeed. But yeah, so I don't know what Leah is gonna do. I think they really need to take the decision making out of the hands of the politicians.
Definitely, clearly.
And put it in the hands of transport and airline experts.
Why these things don't come as common sense?
Yeah.
I'm truly confused.
No, Jade. Remember, politics is just we electing our dictators,
Facts.
That's how it is, yeah.
Because I don't get it. Why is it that, and I mean, they clearly have their rules, which understandable. But
What the rule is?
they're not, they're supposed,
What the politician will be?
to run the country.
So that's what they're doing, Jay. That's the point. That's the whole point. That's what they're doing.
However, they need additional support because they don't know everything. You can't know everything as a human. You need to consult with the people that do know the things.
Have you heard the people that vote for these people speak about these humans?
Stop it.
Like the next Messiah?
That is okay. However, they know they're not. They know that they're not the second coming of Christ or whatever.
You think so? Have you met them?
Yes.
Think about it for a second. Before you continue, just think about it. People feel, come on here and attack the politicians, but the truth is, me and a lot of them good.
Yeah, we're attacking them.
But at the same time, it does take a certain level of hubris to continually go up in front of people and be like, I am the one to save you. Me.
To They're saving lives.
I am the one with the answers. I am the one with the plan. Look at all these plans I have. It does take a certain level of hubris.
It does. Let me see. Which kind of omelette you want, friend? The international one? No, you don't eat ham.
Anyway, you're going to tell them a veggie omelette, they know what that means.
Garden omelette.
Garden works.
Yeah.
So yeah, like.
But even Jesus had 12 disciples. That he wasn't doing it on his own. So they need to start consulting with the people who actually know about the things that they're changing, moving, shifting, implementing, all these good things.
Yeah, I think a lot of times what I find happening is administrations might have a goal, and so what they do is they put people together. Let me not even say experts. They put people together.
No, we're not experts.
And say,
we're not experts.
And then say, figure out how do I get to this goal.
Where are the people in the room are experts?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. No, but they usually have a goal and they say, hey, this is what I want to achieve. Figure out how to make it happen. Right? As opposed to, hey guys, there's a problem that needs to get solved. Find me the solution that works best. Right? So a lot of times it's how we approach things that get us to where we are in the long run. That's why things always end up getting. So for instance, a lot of times, one of the biggest deliverables is time. So they'll just say, I need a solution by in the next 2-3 months. Now this might be something that really and truly takes a bit more time to come up with proper test. That may take time to get proper quotes. It might take time to get proper bills drafted. It might take time for, you understand? So there's a lot of things that might take more than that time. But politically, this might be what the deliverable is. So we just gotta make it happen. A lot of time, that's really the issue. It's just the lens through which we view a lot of the issues. Kind of sabotage us in the first place.
Yeah, but I mean, after a while, you must recognize that.
No, Jade.
No?
No.
What do you mean, no?
Politician job is to get re-elected. So that's the focus. That's the focus.
But I'm pretty sure the people, the owners are late, been there for a while.
No, Jade, that's the point. We've been having...
Gaston been there for a while.
Right, but here what? All the islands, people, they've been shifting.
No, I think the islands that actually own Liat have the same leaders. Let me look again to see which islands they, because I'm pretty sure they've been had the same leaders. I don't think.
Not since 2020, I'm saying about it.
Let me see.
We've had 3 administrations in the last
Antigua
10
and
years?
Barbados.
Yeah, and this is what me second term, isn't it?
Oh, sure. Okay, but what about St. Vincent and the Grenadines are the same?
Well, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Dominico too. Me, I might be the only new person. Because Kevin hasn't been there for a while.
Well, all the other ones then pull out.
You mean take it, no?
Yeah.
Yeah. As we should.
Leah might just need to work out. They're starting their own airline and take it and figure it out from there.
You mean Uncle Gaston? Yeah.
Figure it out.
That's all, cause.
Antigua Airlines.
Yeah.
Yeah, Antigua.
Yeah, ooh, I like that one. Yeah, Antigua. Maybe we're gonna get Air St. Kitts.
Liamiga Airways.
Liamiga Airways. Listen.
I don't think
Can't get the best.
I don't think we should go into. I don't know if airlift is where we need to go into, but I've said it here before. I think sea logistics. I think that's what we need to do. Sea cargo and that kind of stuff. I think that's what we need to push into.
It got to be one of the McKenna owners under here, man, because they're promoting McKenna hard. That's McKenna tickets are valid for 3 months, and if you're going to St. Martin on Easter weekend, the McKenna is almost booked out. midwives. So we are innately wanting to shut down requests for adequate compensation. Wait, what were we talking about?
I guess you're talking about from the, remember they into arbitration now, so there are a bunch of persons who are seeking, who haven't been paid and stuff like that, who looking to get compensated. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. We take a less now.
I am one of those who was seeking compensation from late, but I just had to let it go by. I couldn't even call him. Like, it wouldn't work.
The thing is, they just let us situation, even before COVID.
Yeah, no, this wasn't a COVID thing, you know?
They had been struggling, man.
They cannot blame COVID for this one. This was a pre-pandemic problem.
Yeah. It's been years. It's been years.
That's what I tell you, since I was a child, I've been hearing about all the perils of LEAT and how they're not functioning, how they're losing money, how the pilots don't want to fly.
Speaking of airlines, we mentioned a few episodes, like a week ago or so, about Inter-Caribbean. So Inter-Caribbean originates in TCI, right? So somebody from the TCI who listens to the show was all excited about the fact that we were mentioning Inter-Caribbean. They were just like, yeah, like.
So we're getting like a free flight or something?
I don't know about a free flight, but I know that because of our discussion on it, people in the TCI are listening to us now.
So I want to see. Meet us in person. We here, you know. Yeah, we here for you.
But yeah, it's. I think they just need to stop fighting down the independent airlines, create an environment where all these airlines can thrive, and then fit LEAT in to fill the gaps.
As well as reducing tax.
As well as
reducing the tax.
Well, that's what I'm talking about in terms of the environment. Like, I think the taxation is really hampering that. And then, of course, we only see in the tax for us, but what are those independent airlines paying as well?
That's true.
Right?
Them taxes are crazy.
No, but it's been well documented that the independent airlines find it hard to grow and to thrive because of the policies that are in place. You know, that kind of
Azem, somebody
fight against them. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Oh. Yeah, give thanks to small mercies.
What do you do the hat again?
Greatly appreciated.
They probably could hear my belly through the microphone.
That's probably why it was. You might cannot tell for real. But yeah, Jade, I
actually booked my flight on Caribbean Airlines.
Oh yeah, tell us a bit about. So you're supposed to travel.
But I had to book 2 tickets because Caribbean Airlines don't fly directly to Jamaica from St. Kitts.
Right.
So what I have to do is book a ticket from St. Kitts.
Hold on, before we even tell us about the tickets, since we're talking, the people probably want to know what we're talking about. So you are traveling to Jamaica.
God spare life.
God spare life. And so you had to find a way to navigate. So you weren't going to the US mainland.
Yes.
So you had to find another way to get there.
That was difficult.
Okay, so tell us a bit about the process.
Yeah, so no, because there is no flight directly from St. Kitts to Jamaica, I had to book 2 flights, which is from St. Martin to Jamaica and from St. Kitts to St. Martin.
Okay, and what airlines are you traveling on?
Well, I think St. Kitts to St. Martin is Caribbean Airlines as well. Both of them is Caribbean Airlines.
Caribbean Airlines, really?
No, not LA. Hold on.
Should not Winnie?
Yes, Winnie, sorry.
Oh,
Winnie
okay.
is St. Kitts to St. Martin and then Caribbean Airlines.
How much that flight was?
Winnie flight is always $1,066. Okay. Most of the times, it's $1,066.
Okay, from here to St. Martin?
And Jamaica, St. Martin to Jamaica was more. Yeah.
On Caribbean Airlines?
I was so excited. I thought I would just be able to find one flight. No. Can we fix that?
But you see, what is happening is that St. Martin is a hub.
It is.
So even for me, even before COVID and all of this, a lot of times I would just go to St. Martin and figure it out from there. If you're going to Europe, you're going to France and stuff like that, a lot of times people who go into Europe from here, what we'll do is we'll take British Airways. So St. Kitts, Antigua, London, right? And then from there to wherever in Europe you're going.
Yeah.
But I've been telling people, no, what you do? No, go to St. Martin.
St. Martin.
And then there's Air France. And there's another airline as well. So if you're going to like Holland, any of those places, it works out way cheaper.
You said we just have to navigate these places?
Yeah. Somebody told me about a bot on Telegram that you just like put in your destination and thing, and it just gives you back all the cheapest flights. And I need to go back and put that in because yeah, when you're even planning on traveling, it just don't even make no sense. But now that I'm thinking about traveling, yeah,
you have to go figure it out.
Yeah.
I'm excited for a trip.
Yeah, I mean,
I need a little vacation, man, lad.
Yeah. I wish what was happening is that we could, like I said, create a hub here in St. Kitts. I don't think that's going to happen really with airlift, but I do believe we have a unique opportunity in terms of into the sea cargo. I said it here already. I think even in terms of what the governor said with shortening time, making things more expediting things more efficient. Even the idea of me having to pay customs duty and all them things, and I just like Amazon, like I buying things on Amazon, I supposed to be able to just pay me customs everything one time in the charge, boom.
That would be vibes.
You know, you see what I'm saying? Like just pay it and ship it, we come here, just go up the port, pick it up. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Even if you want to use one of the freight forwarders or whatever, then yeah, there's ways to deal with that. I mean, that is going to happen sooner rather than later. The question is, are we going to be the ones that benefit, or are we going to wait until someone else comes and does it?
You know the answer to that question already.
Yeah, you're right.
So I don't even know why that's even.
You're right.
Yeah. You see, what I don't understand is, right, why every December we shocked that there's a bottleneck created at the port when it's difficult for us to ship things throughout the year. And December is the only time we get some kind of relief. Because
something in your mind goes, this should not be the case.
Yeah.
This should not be the case. Christmas comes the same time every year. I don't think it does move, right?
Never moved.
And so you would believe that people would put things in place to fit. Jade, I had a car part. It took me a month between the time it reached the Miami warehouse and the whole of December passed me and get me thing until January.
Yeah, that happens.
The whole of December passed, Jade.
She happens.
So, I mean, it just gets ridiculous when, it just really gets ridiculous.
It is, and that's why I don't understand, like, how are we always shocked that this happens? It's going to happen. That's the only time we could actually afford to bring in stuff. Like, people wait all year just to be able to get some stuff because the cost to do it between January to November is ridiculous. It is quite ridiculous.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna do in terms of changing that, because what happens is every year we also get the talk about how it's so much easier this time. You know, we always get the talk. It's so much easier this time. Oh, we've done this to facilitate this, and the lines are gonna be better. And same thing every time.
Every time.
Same thing every time. So I don't, and even so, I wonder where the bottleneck actually is.
I think, well, from what I've heard, sometimes it happens with the aircraft and stuff that bring things here, and that's why some of the carriers had to switch to boats, because the flights weren't coming in how they usually do.
Oh, the flights were just full. Which one?
Oh, maybe that. Maybe that, friend.
So I think that's one. I think, of course, the customs officers does work ridiculously
Oh,
hard.
yes,
So
boy.
this isn't an indictment on the actual customs officers.
No, ain't y'all at all.
I think they does work extra hard during the Christmas time.
They do.
Right? It is like I know customs officers and they'll be working way past regular hours trying to clear containers, trying to do all kind of things. So
Customs and police, especially December time.
yeah.
Lord, pray for them.
Yeah. So but something has to be done. Is it a matter that it's because this is my thing, you know. It is not that it's impossible. We have to reinvent invent something that is needed to achieve what it is we want to see. Right? It can't be like you have companies that facilitating hundreds of thousands of packages daily. In and out of their facilities.
Yeah.
There's no way that we can't find a way to do better in terms of managing the uptick in traffic through the ports at Christmas time.
We have 11 months to figure it out. This is something that constantly happens, isn't it? It's not like it just happened last December and we realized we have this problem. This is a literal every December problem. We hear people complaining, oh, I can't get me stuff, or they ain't ship me stuff, they're still saying pending, they're still in Miami, all these things. So we know this is an issue that constantly happens, so we really need to start figuring out, okay, we know December what happens, we know it's always VAT free or VAT off or whatever the case is. How do we facilitate a smoother transition from the person ordering to the person receiving? There has to be something that they could fix.
It really is like it's not that hard, right?
But why you just like you're stressing out yourself?
It's not that hard. Like no, because that's why. Because it's not that hard. Like it's not that hard. What they do instead is they put so much pressure on the personnel. So it's almost like, okay, this is how we've been doing it. So just figure it out.
Yeah, just figure it out.
And
make it work.
And if figuring it out mean well you got to walk yourself to the ground, then walk yourself to the ground.
And that is super unfortunate.
No, but the truth is it doesn't work. Like
We know it don't work.
If it was a matter that they were walking to the ground and things were still flowing smoothly, okay. I could see, okay, you're just horrible bosses, but at least you're getting at least you're getting the results you're looking for.
Yep.
But the truth is we're still not getting the results. We're still not getting the results. So how do we put things in place to help and facilitate that? But and again, it's not that you're reinventing anything,
No,
or inventing anything.
You just have to recognize, okay, this ain't working. Let's see how other people get this. Because there's plenty of examples. We're not the only person with customs. Ah, dear.
Let me ask you a question. I always wonder, you know, I need to do a deep dive into like St. Martin and the policies in terms of like, you know, the duty free and stuff like that. And how I think they probably do income tax. Like they probably do income tax. So they probably don't do tax on consumption like we do here. But it'd be interesting to figure out you know, how not only the taxation works on import, but also how the ports function. Because even when I go to St. Martin, I used to go to St. Martin to work and things. And every time we ship things in, and the way I would see things happen and flow at the port would just be like totally different to here.
Yes.
And I just be like, but they must be getting a lot of stuff here because they import everything down there.
Yeah.
Right? They import everything. And the stuff duty free.
Yeah.
So
Where
how they facilitate that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to figure out.
You don't know St. Martin custom officer?
I know a guy that works on the port. I don't know what his.
If you work on the port, you should know what's happening.
Yeah, because I was linking and see what guy.
See if we can solve the problem here.
You got cool minister down there too, you know, who I said I was going to link up with. And the guys on the French side. Yeah, but yeah, definitely there is there's scope for improvement. And again, next administration, Minister of Logistics. I'm telling y'all.
Minister, they might give you.
You're gonna change everything. It can change everything. Trust me.
They might just give you.
Trust me. Minister of Logistics. Make it a ministry. Ministry of Logistics. And we figure out things like how we get things in and out of the country.
Smoothly.
And not only for us, but for everybody in the Caribbean.
Yeah. I with it.
Yeah.
I with it.
Yeah. That might work out. Jade, you want to take a small break?
Yes, I think we should. I think we should, honestly.
All right, guys, we're going to take a short break and be right back with more Sip and Chat right here on the Sugar Factory. Stick and stay. Don't run away. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to Sip and Chat with Azem and Jade, and of course we're joined by a very special lady this morning.
Definitely.
Really a pleasure having Miss Unoma Allen here in studio with us. Good morning, Unoma. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me.
Oh.
Actually,
I know you took some time out of your super busy schedule.
super.
I like that.
I like that.
That's a nice
Like
pun
the
right
plug,
there.
right. Yes, super.
Because we know. So, oh, I see what I did there.
Oh, you just realized
No,
it?
I did.
I thought it was brilliant.
Yes.
Thank you.
Sometimes you're accidentally brilliant.
I know.
Oh, not on purpose.
But she didn't realize?
I didn't, honestly.
I know sometimes those are the sweetest ones.
Yeah,
Eh?
but
I'm
it
telling
fits.
you.
It fits.
Yeah.
Yes. So what's been going on? Long time away for you.
Girl, boy, it's been a while.
Oh my.
Well, what has changed since then? Nothing, really. Just undergoing, busy learning, making my mistakes, growing from them, looking at obstacles as opportunities. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how I've been approaching life in general.
Oh.
And the Soup Cafe for now.
Well, I mean, of course, you were in this shirt, a lovely shirt.
Oh, yeah.
And
What should I wear?
And I am definitely a patron.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I'm such a patron that you know me out of.
I know.
We keep
That's a secret.
Yes.
Oh man, but the soup cafe is definitely still going, still growing, still serving lunch and lovely soup to the people of the nation. And how long has it been open now?
Well, you could say the 14th of December 2015 is when we first served our soup. What we had done that time, we had used the National Carnival at the point in time. And if I tell you the story of how we got to that point.
Actually, we want you to.
Yeah, you're gonna need napkins. You want to? Okay. But we opened on the 14th. I'll never forget that day. It was Party Central, I think they had down there.
Right.
And I was like, because the format I had was lunch.
Right.
But because it was Carnival, why I did it during Carnival was that before, that same year I was made redundant. And I had no job. Couldn't find a job. It was February 27th. I would never forget that date when I was called. And when you call and you're told that, I'm so sorry, we have to let you go. I don't think if you cut me, you could find blood. It's just like, I know it's hard because I was with a new entity. So I know for any new entity, the first 3-4 years is quite touch and go. So the liberating me was like, I understand. It's okay, yes. I was like, click, what am I gonna do?
Right, of course.
I remember when I got mine. I cried.
You cried?
Yeah.
I cried about, did I cry? Maybe about a month after.
Oh no, I went one time.
You went in to try and figure it out more.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I am.
First.
Oh no, no, girl, the DNA they got them Africans sent to me. I'm like, it's like warrior mode. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
So I used a week to be sad. You have to express your feelings. I don't think it makes sense to fight them. As
you have to feel it. You have to feel it.
That's why I cried one time.
And that's why the Lord gave us tears. It's to be used. So I was like stunned. I remember, and then I hung up. I was at Chukapo's home because we were doing a commercial for one of the stores on at Port Zante. And so when I hung up, I was like, yes, get your, I'm reading the script, I was so happy.
At work?
Well, I'm doing my...
Different work.
Well, yeah, I was just doing a little thing for him.
Yeah.
So, didn't think, nobody would ever tell if they could hear my voice, that they would have known that seconds before I got laid off. So afterwards, I just thought, okay, what am I going to do? I allowed myself, as I said, to be deep sad for a week. After a week, I started to write to everybody, National Bank, who are the insurance with.
Somebody gonna hire you.
No, not even in terms of that. In terms of, look, me on a job, so no money gonna be coming in right now.
I see what you mean.
You gotta let them know. You gotta let them know. Credit card, look, me ain't gonna work.
Don't expect no penny.
Right. And then National Bank was like, oh, nice, we want my money.
Yikes.
Which is understandable.
Figure it out.
I'm not knocking it, but when you're put under that pressure, you have to find an answer.
Yeah.
So I mean, of course, they gotta say what they have to say. I have to say what I have to say. I'm just not gonna be in the dark about it. So I was just like trying to find something. Never found anything. March went by, April went by. I thought of going back into government, into the civil service. So I sent my CV there, but all when I'm doing it, Jade, Azem, my heart was like...
it's heavy.
It just started to clench. It's not for you.
Yeah. I've been there. I've been there.
And that's what I say to people. You want to know whether or not you're making the right decision. Think about the option and see how your body feels.
Reacts, you're gonna react.
See how yes.
Even when you wake up in the morning, sometimes you could feel it, like you really don't want to go to
Correct.
sleep. You just feel dread and
correct. Oh, should I end this relationship or should I stay? End. See how your body feels.
Can I survive for 4 months without
people. You know what I tell people who aren't as in tune with their feelings. What you do if you have two options? Get a coin, heads and tails. Assign each option to heads or tails.
Okay.
Throw the coin up in the air. While the coin in the air, you're gonna know which one you want to do. You don't even have to look at the coin.
I've never done that, but I'll try it next time.
Okay.
When it's in the air, something inside you, I hope it's. And that's how you know which one you really want to do.
But okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So even if it lands and it's not the option you wanted, ignore it.
Or even for instance, like people would go, "Oh, just watching the game between the two teams. I'm not really backing a team." At some point during the game, you're going to find.
Okay.
Sometimes you have to start your feelings that way.
Got you.
Yeah.
So I went through the same process, and May of that year, so I got laid off February 27th, 2015. May of that year, I approached music festivals coming around, and they'll always get volunteers or anybody additional they could use for the moment. So I was able to get a stint, and boy, I never so happy to get minimum wage. I was like, bring it on.
At least I'm doing something.
Proud. I felt walking into the National Bank and saying, here, it's not the full amount, but it's something.
Yeah.
I felt really, really proud about that. But at the same time too, I was like, who are you kidding? You wanted this.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur, to start my own business. As a child, I would say, I want to be the CEO of my own company. Yeah. Even as a teenager, when people would call the house, I'd be like, Unoma Allen Incorporated, how can I help? Right. So my parents would be like, oh gosh. So it wasn't, sometimes you go through the feelings of, should I be upset with the person who laid me off, or should I accept maturely that this is what you've been asking for all the time? You didn't say to the universe, well, I want to have my own business, but I want it to be done this way.
Right. When things happen, they happen for a reason sometimes.
Correct.
And that probably was the push you needed to.
Correct. It was. The God was like, look,
time money now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I've been hearing you since you were 6. This is ridiculous. Right. So I am grateful, for the opportunity for that time. But I then, during the time that week, I allowed myself to be like really saddened.
You have to feel it. You
not
have to
eating.
grieve.
You got to.
Because you live in one thing that you've been doing so long. It's become an integral part of your life. And you're moving on to something new. You don't even know what the new thing is yet.
Oh, thank you.
But you're moving on.
Thank
so you have
you.
to let that, because something died.
Yes. And what I then did was like, you know what? In order for you not to be in this state for week after week after week after week after week, and your mind can take you to the depths of darkness. It's not the situation, it's how you interpret it. Right. So I was like, you know what they're saying, you got find hope. I said, you know what, you always wanted to start a business, do a business plan. Just do anything to get you towards that idea. So what I did, I said, okay, let me call the Ministry of Finance and find out how to get a business license. So my mind was all caught up with getting a business license. So I was always in action mode, and that's what I kind of feel is helpful if you're in a position where you're feeling really sad. Just do something. Water a plant, draw.
Color.
Don't just swallow in the sadness.
Correct. Because it could get real deep and we'll get to real fast.
Hey. And you can't get out there? Yeah, I'm going down that at all.
No.
So that's what I did. I just devoted my time to pretending, that I'm starting this business and I'm doing the business plan and so forth. So I was like, okay, confidence.
Take it till you make it back.
Yeah, what do you mean? So I would write to various banks and have discussions about getting a loan to start the business, and it wasn't going anywhere at all. I think I went to National Bank like 5 times. Love you. I'm not giving you free plugs and not in any way discrediting the institution at all. I'm just giving my story, my experience. And it's so funny when the first person said, no, I was like, they know what they're talking about. Let me go to the superior. They know what they're talking about. Let me go to the superior. And then when I got to them, they were like, no, you can't work. I was like, okay, no problem.
I don't maybe I know you're talking about that.
And so, I went to another institution, and by the end of summer, I was like, but by June, I applied to Carnival for a space as my backup, because my first thing was like, you're going to get the money, you're going to get a space, you're going to get staff, everything's going to be nice, It's like perfect, which is good because it kept me going, letting me know that this was a possibility.
One thing I always tell Azem and the listeners, is that we have to live in delusion sometimes, We have to live in that delusion.
Delusions become reality.
Okay, you see?
They do. And I'm going to tell you why I said that. But all during that time, I was reading and looking at videos about entrepreneurs. Because in my view, I knew that it was not going to be easy. So I needed to give myself a reality check. So I bought books. Thank God I could read. Reading is not necessary, but I mean, you can listen, you can hear stories. I remember buying a book that had short snippets of different entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial ventures. I think one of them was Hyundai, and one of those Japanese who used to work for a motorbike
company,
organization.
yeah.
And then he went off
Branched off.
I think it was Honda, I'm not too sure. But I read about him in the same book, was about Sylvester Stallone and Rocky, the script, and he was trying to sell it around, and everybody was telling him no, and he was saying, I'm going to sell you the script, but I have to be the lead. They were like, but you ain't got no acting experience. But he's like, take it or leave it, that's what I want. And so I was like, okay, you got to be able to fall and get back up.
That's
not just
life.
Once, not just twice, but
that's life.
20,000 times. Correct. So all that time during that summer, I was educating myself about entrepreneurship. So I would do free courses. There's this website called
Coursera.
Coursera. I thought you said
I've done Coursera courses. Yeah, crazy.
.org, I think.
Yeah.
Right. So I would do courses like that, and I remember seeing these lecturers, these Caucasians, and they were like, if you want to be an entrepreneur, this is what you should do today. They would give a different task.
Right.
Walk into town in something that people would stare at you in, like a clown, wig and nose. And I'm like, what? The idea is, because being an entrepreneur is so public.
Right.
People are going to stare at you, they're going to comment, so you need to be able to get accustomed to that.
Yeah.
But I was like, I have some calypso. I've done a swing show.
I've been there.
But they also said that a few things I picked up from them. And I think it's throughout that journey I learned how to be spiritually aware. Because you don't have anything definitive in front of you. You don't have anybody cheering for you. You don't have anything definite. So you have to get in touch with that side of you that is giving you quiet wisdom.
Right.
And it is pushing you on, and you are asking it questions as well. So I recall one of the classes said, if you are not finding an answer to a question that you have, repeat the statement. I can't recall the exact statement, but it's something like this. The answer is right in front of me. It's here today. I just need to be able to open my mind to receiving it. Something like that. Basically, you're telling the universe the answer is here, it's just on its way to me.
Right.
I know what the answer is. It will come to me. The answer is on its way. Something to that effect.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, white people. Okay.
Manifestation.
Look.
Yeah.
And then the next one was, so that was one. And yes, the other one was, you must envision and feel how you're going to feel in the moment when you've achieved what you want. And I'm going to tell you two things. So coming down to December, the reason why I applied as a backup for Carnival was that, if all these banks are telling me no, I need to be able to provide them with proof that people want soup.
Right.
So that was the
mindset. Yeah.
But what no one knows is I was so overconfident. Early August, right? I was like, when National Bank told me, like the third or fourth time, I was like, you know what? This is part 8. The 5th time you're gonna get yes. So I gave up my spot. I was the first one on the list to apply for a booth for Carnival. And a friend of mine came to me maybe the week before not the opening. I think it was just the
launch. They do two things. Maybe the launch.
I think maybe it was in November, and my friend came to me and she's like, Ma, actually just talking, not seeking anything, and she's like, my friend, she and her mother want to do a booth. They're trying to raise funds, for whatever reason. I was like, really? But it's too late now. The deadline, it was early September. The deadline for applying. The deadline is approaching, and they missed the deadline basically, whatever time it was. I was like, really? Well, my name is the first on the list. You know what? Go to the meeting, ask me, but I've given you the space.
Right.
I gave you the space. Go ahead. So I gave up the space. And I gone to whomever institution again, like the 6th or 7th time.
Because you don't work out then the
yeah, I feel like my overconfidence was like, you won't get this. You get turned down a couple of times, it's part of the journey. I was so overconfident. So, and when I got the last no, I was like,
oh, yikes.
Oh, boy, I don't give up the space. I can't go back now.
I don't know what to do. Yeah. I have no way of qualifying that what I feel can work can.
Yeah.
So boy, girl, well, we are good friends. So I just called my friend. I was like, that's when I cried. I didn't cry when I got laid off. That's when I guess the whole frustration from February right down to the point.
Your faith get tested, man. That's what happened in there. Your faith now tested.
I was outside Methodist Church in a vehicle on College Street, got bawling. I pull over and
something you need to do a good cry there.
Whoa, it was needed.
Okay.
And she was like, no, I hear you. I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. She hung up. I was like, when is she gone? I was like, I need somebody to talk to right now. she called back. She said, Ma, they give up the space. So they were going to do food and drinks. She says the mother of the girl who's going to do food, she said, you know what, you gave us this opportunity. I'm going to step out. So you can have
the space back.
Right.
Wow.
So my daughter will do drinks and you will do
food.
The soups, right?
Okay.
I was like, I would tearing up and all. I would never forget that. Yeah. So so that's why I applied as a backup, because you must think of all options.
Right.
Never ever say that's stupid.
Don't put your eggs in one basket.
Think of be creative. Be creative as much as possible. Don't limit your thoughts.
Right.
Just put down on paper, okay, this is a possibility, this is a possibility. So it was December 14th, I will never forget this. December 14th, and as I said, the format was during the day. I think that was maybe one of the first events for Canberra. I'm not too sure, but the next morning is when I really wanted to vent. I was like, what? Party Central, new vibes? What? I gonna set up? So I had 2 soups. I had pumpkin soup and a goat water. And the first person to buy a goat water for me, I was like, oh my God, I feel so proud. It was this guy's mother, Alfonso, who is a dancer.
Yes, I know.
Right, his mom. I was like, Lord, thank you. So at the end of the night, people are going back and forth. The event is done. At the end of the night, I think I saw like 8 in total. I was so deflated.
No, boy.
Lord.
8, so 2 big ratted pots.
And you only sell 8.
And then the young lady who I shared the booth with, drinks was just flying over the counter, over the counter. And I'm like, okay, trying to put up a brave front and all of that. But I was like, you know what, at the time, I had previously worked at Tourism Authority in corporate communications. So I was like, you know what, you got to sign, stand up in front of your sign and take photos and all of that. You never know, it would come in handy. Because I just felt that soup would be such a draw at an event. You're drinking, soup.
You need something
It's easy. I wasn't advertising on nothing. So I said to myself, you know what, if this was a grandmaster's or Swan Excursion,
yeah.
No, they don't. I didn't really.
No, kids don't appreciate soup.
I didn't understand or really think that at the time the new vibes, they attract the younger 18, 19. Right. Just want to get high quick. Right. They're leaving to go to go right. So I was so defeated. I was like, I had so much soup. Like, who the heck am I gonna get these to? I gave it away somehow. I think a lot of it was in my fridge at home. And I was so forlorn. I had gotten home by 3, 4 o'clock, and a friend of mine was on WhatsApp. I don't even know if WhatsApp was in the vogue then. And I was like, girl, this has just happened to me. I can't believe. I don't know if this is gonna work. And there was a lady who was selling with me, and she said, Ma, it's mornings. We're supposed to do this. I said, okay, no problem. Yeah, we go back to the original format. And my friend was like, look, you got a Facebook page? I was like, no. She's like, stay on the line. I'm gonna walk through it with you. We're gonna set it up together. I'll never forget, her name is Bianca. She lives in Bahamas. So she was in Bahamas helping me to set up. But that quiet voice said to me, you know what John the Baptist did? I'm not Christian. I know. What are you asking me? And as I said, deep sadness unearths the spirit within you. And I'm like, no, John the Baptist? What? Okay, John the Baptist, what did he do? He told of the coming of Jesus. I'm like, okay, so what are you trying to tell me? And then I thought, okay, yeah, I get you now. Because as I said, I was so focused on that soup is a basic, everybody knows about soup, and nothing new you bring into the market.
Right.
So I just thought, it would go. And I said, I should tell of the coming of the soup cafe.
Yes.
So I said, boy, them pictures that me take in front of them signs that night, I start to post them, on Facebook, and I think I would have sent it across WhatsApp if it was in the vogue at the time. And people were like, yeah, where we?
See?
And so advertising does help,
Yeah.
and being able to pick yourself up off the ground helps. Because it was only me and a brother, no sister. Me are the only person in my family on St. Kitts and Nevis because my parents are not from here.
Right.
So I ain't got nobody. And then you talk about brain drain, but the US calls friend drain. Because all my friends, when they finish studying, they stayed there. So I got nobody.
It's just you and your soup.
Oh, you mean? I'm a mind. So I was like, you know what? Yeah. So when the Facebook page was set up, then I posted the pictures, and then the next morning it was clear sailing from there.
Yeah.
Clear sailing. Every day got better and better and better. It was really amazing, but
And now look at you, can't even get soup.
I'm telling you,
I'd be like, wait, is 11 o'clock? Orders done by like.
I know, you know, it's a beautiful thing is to see, because, you know, we're inside TDC Mall,
Right.
and we have the sign on the outside, and people would walk down and be like, wow, hey, and they would come in faith, and they would walk through the corridor, walk to us. You got any soup left? I was like, I admire you, man. You're hoping on in faith.
That's what I had to do, but in reverse, I'd go like, yeah, open it.
Exactly.
True. But what I wanted to say as well with regards to that course, what is the course?
Coursera.
I call it course RA .org. When the Caucasian spoke about telling yourself that you have the answer. When the original logo of the Soup Cafe, I was in contact with a local graphics designer, and naturally, you know, I think the concept at the time was you're given 3 tries. Like, I don't like that, come back with another design. I don't like that. After that 3 times, you gotta pay again.
Right.
Oh.
And I'm like, I ain't got no job, boo. I can't do that. No. So I was like, and then what they were producing I wasn't feeling it. So it wasn't. So I'm like, okay, let me try this thing that these people say. I have the answer. It's within me to find the answer. The answer is within me. And I kept on repeating it. You know, keep on repeating it. And lo and behold, I kid you not. Because my mind was saying, I need to find a graphics designer. I need to find a graphics designer, but I ain't got no money. Who the heck you gonna find?
Right.
Everybody needs to get paid for their creativity. I said, okay, let's try this. I have the answer within me. It's right in front of me. The answer is here. It's right in front of me. And then my mind said, you know, Ma, you ain't got somebody who you could. I was like, weird. I got a cousin in St. Vincent that do graphics design.
Yeah, imagine that.
He put it on the side to Dula. I was like, weird. Let me send him a message.
Yeah, send him a message, see what's going on.
My cousin, then this is 4 years on. He's finished his degree. I'm like, Facebook, Jadwick, do you still do graphic design? He's like, yes, but only for family or friends. I was like, Bob, we're cousins. I was like, you funny. Like, let's get this done.
Yeah.
So he did my first.
Imagine that.
I did not know he was there. My mind didn't think.
Sometimes you just have to sit and just ponder and ponder and ponder.
The answer is in front of you. The answer is in front of you.
And the second thing that came from that course, when they say, you must feel how you would feel when you have achieved what you want. So if it's losing weight, if it's starting a business, if it's going in for a pageant, if it's being a mom, whatever it is. So I always wanted TDC Mall, right?
Yeah.
Because the business is called Soup Cafe. So
Right.
like, to me, a cafe is out in the open.
Right.
Yes.
Right? And that hut was always a bar.
Yeah.
No food establishment in that hut. And I was like, this is the perfect spot. And the day, it was a Saturday, I think it was, Kyla Brown, her set of pageant contestants for National Carnival Queen. One of the team members invited me to the press conference which launched them at OTI to give a critique on how the contestant answered their questions and so on. So at the end of that, I said, you know what, you want that TDC spot, but you know, you've been calling and you haven't been getting through. I said, let me just do what these white people say, you hear? Let me try a thing. So I had never really gone into TDC Mall much in my lifetime.
Right.
So I was so nervous. Me, Calypso, singing on the stage in front of thousands.
And you're nervous.
I'm nervous just walking in. Because people would be like, what are you doing here? Like, I felt that people would be like, you don't normally come in here. What are you doing here? Something's up. So I didn't want anybody, right? So I walked in, nobody saw me, good. I turned right, and I went to the side of the hut. That's just alongside the bank, right?
Yeah.
And there were some bar stools there because the bar was there previously. And I took the stool and I shimmied to the side because I don't want nobody to see me. Because they'd be like, you know what are you doing in here? And I sat to the side and I did what they said. They said, envision customers basically and feel how you would feel when the customers come to the counter and you engage with them, you give them the change, you give them the soup. I was like, me ain't got nothing to lose. Me ain't got no money. Carnival done. Carnival but it was December.
Wrapping up.
Right. So I was like, let me try this. And I sat there. I don't forget I had on it was what they call, not orange, what they call orange these days? Coral. Yeah. I was in that. And the thick eyebrows had just come in, so me did try and do it. It was like a flop. I remember a lady put me over, she's like, no, man, no, you have too much black. I was like,
You was trying.
it was new. So I'm there to the side and I'm envisioning, but But I not only envisioned, I felt how I would feel. Anyway, I left. And the process of getting that space, you gotta read my biography, but it was basically calling every 2 weeks. Hi, my name is Unoma. I called you 2 weeks ago, just wondering if you have any space.
Right.
Click. No, Unoma. Click. Hi, this is Unoma. We spoke 2 weeks ago. And then on one of those conversations, I could not believe it. Could not believe it. The answer was, well, the person who had it has just vacated.
Wow.
I was like, no get to nobody else. I want it.
No.
But the thing is, it was total fronting because, you know, so the TDC personnel said, okay, you know, they wanted a business plan. They wanted to know my plans for the space, which is natural.
Right.
You don't want somebody who's going to be there 3 months and they're gone. You want to know that there's longevity.
Right.
So I did something, you know, gave them, and they're like, okay, cool. You know, let's try this. And I really rate TDC for that. You know, I'm a, well, you know, not proven an entrepreneur.
Right.
And they gave me a chance. And they do this with the students that they sponsor. And, you know, our current Prime Minister was one of the students that they gave scholarships to throughout his high school time. And I had a friend from school who was also in that same batch. So they helped a Prime Minister, you know?
Right.
You never know who you're helping.
Right.
And for that, I say kudos to them. But so they said, okay, we'll try. And they said, come in and sign the contract. Had no idea. Me had no equipment in place. I had some stuff. Me had nothing. Me had nothing in place. So I'm there in front of, you know, I'm dressed and I got a friend of mine to take pictures because, you know, you want to upload it eventually. Soon coming. And I'm signing, and so they said, okay, so what date are you going to start? Like, date? They're saying, like, me sign the contract and then I'll come back to you. Then and there, I said, the 22nd of March, 2 weeks from now. Oh my gosh. So I gave myself 2 weeks.
To figure out
how to set up a business, I'll get you.
how to make sure your
Ingredients, the
soups
menu,
they're hot, how you're going to serve it, how your
We had to go
pricing.
put down, you know, a sink, you know, a hand sink for staff to wash. Just everything. I mean, I brought down a fridge from my house. I mean, I had the fridge for a good while. I mean, look, it was a journey.
What you have to do.
You do. And, you know, it's funny, you know, when I was younger, 7, 8, thinking that I wanted to be a CEO, a spirit said to me, it said, I was like, what? But why know about that? It said, you know, you shouldn't have a family or a relationship while you're being an entrepreneur, because it's going to be hard.
Yeah.
And you don't want, what the spirit was telling me is that you don't want to put anybody through the suffering that you are going to go through.
Right.
So I was like, I'm like, why know about family? What going on? I say, okay, all right, no problem.
You want nobody in the car with you crying.
I don't want to hurt anybody. I
Right.
don't want to put anybody through it. So I read an article recently, and it said, because I'm always trying to read, finding new things. And it said, you know, as an entrepreneur, you either have to find someone who's really committed to not just you, but what you're doing, or stay single.
Yeah.
Two of you.
We understand.
You have
It becomes
to find.
it becomes more distraction because it takes up so much of your time trying
Yeah.
to build.
You're going to get bite.
Yeah,
And then the
trying to build,
person feeling like you're not giving them enough attention.
Correct. And they deserve it.
Yeah.
So when I look back and I remember that, I recall that feeling, I'm like, you know, the spirit world exists. Your ancestors are around, and you must always call on them. I know we were, you know, colonized and all of that, and so we were taken away from our true culture.
Right.
We were, but I do feel like when you wake up in the mornings or throughout the day, when you know you're told to thank God for various mercies, thank your ancestors too.
Yeah.
Call on them. You hear?
Because they'll be there when you need them.
They're there. They're there. And they help protect you. They walk ahead of you to the side. They create things.
Yeah.
They create scenarios to give you hints on things. Trust you me. I have a lot. But yes, that's me in a nutshell.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it is. I think it's an incredible journey
Yeah.
that so many people could relate to.
Yes.
Definitely.
But also, it kind of highlights the fact that hey, this is what it is, and
Yeah,
this
it's
is
not
this is
easy.
the process.
Not a bed of roses.
Yeah.
No,
Everybody's journey is a little different, but one thing is one thing is for certain there'll be trials. They're gonna be tough times.
There will be, and there'll be more tough times than good times.
Yes.
So you have to be able to weather the storm. And whenever I do go through my series of tough times, I always say to myself, remember how you eventually envision, this concept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Pick up that shopping bag, Unoma. Don't take the bus. Walk it to bus by. Sorry. Exercise. Give yourself some energy, yeah. So that's what I do. I keep the end goal.
Yeah.
The end goal in mind.
I mean, and the truth is, this is something that's been on my mind a lot recently. Like in past weeks, like just how these adversities kind of help us to build resilience, right? And without any adversity, you wouldn't build resilience. Like how could you face anything?
And the thing is, every part of my life, I've realized the difficulty I went through, it helped to create. It helped to prepare me back for entrepreneurship. I would not be able to do it if I didn't go through tough times before.
I think I had that thought recently in sitting and thinking about where I am currently in the space of, if you look at my vision board, like a lot of the things happening, I literally have a studio that looks just like this on my vision board. I never even show you. But it was crazy. Last night I was looking at my computer because I have it on my screen to remind myself and on my phone screen.
Okay.
And I literally looked at it and I was like, that is insane how this exact
does.
studio looks exactly like the one that I have on my vision
Imagine
board.
that, eh?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So as you say, manifestation, it apparently works.
Yeah, it's a real thing. You draw the reality to yourself that you envision.
Yes, because they say, I think, I read so much during that summer when I was unemployed. Quantum physics, I looked up for quantum physics. Yeah. And according to, in some, quantum physics says, if you have two options, they are there in space, in particles. Right. It's what your mind thinks on. That's what comes to reality. So yeah, it really does work.
Now look at the studio. Well, I don't think I could zoom.
No!
I was looking in the exact picture of the studio.
Oh my gosh, and we have the lights,
the green lights, everything.
No, she's not lying. She's actually telling the truth.
That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah, but I feel like I want to encourage more people to even like share too, because sometimes when we don't want to say like, "Bye, it was rough."
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I think we live in a time now where everybody's so caught up in giving impressions like, oh, I got it all together, everything is good, everything easy, like everything perfect. Like we like to give up these impressions of perfection.
Why?
Yeah.
It's strange. And if we actually sit and listen to other people's story, you realize they're winging it just like you winging it because you had to wing it.
Yep.
We winging it.
Yep.
And it's encouraging. It's encouraging to know that.
Correct.
It's encouragement.
This is a normal path.
Right. Exactly.
You know, it's don't quit. Don't give up. I remember I went to Neville to ask him to be my mentor. I was covering all the bases. And Neville was very busy. This is, years ago. And he suggested someone else who was his mentor, but Neville said one thing to me. I remember we were in the circus. He said, don't give up. In 2015, he said, don't give up. Wow. And so don't give up means, from my point of view, is find a solution. Right. Always find.
There's always a way.
Always. Yeah, there's literally always a way. You just have to sit and figure it out.
Oh yeah, just repeat. I know the answer is there. It's coming to me.
And you're gonna cry, and you're gonna be upset, and you're gonna be annoyed, but that's just a part of it.
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
And I think to some extent, I think we Kiddicians, I don't know if Nivisions are like this. We want people to think, as you said, that we are perfect.
Yeah. We got it all together. Like.
Why?
Because it's basically what we were. Because as a child, we were taught. You have to present a certain way. You have to show people that, no matter what you're going through, you have the best face.
Yes.
No.
What it is that we frown on. We frown on things like not knowing. We frown on things like failure.
Making mistakes.
Making mistakes. Instead of recognizing that, hey, these are one, natural progressions, and two is really just opportunities for you to learn something. That's all it is. That's all it is.
It's exactly.
So. I think like Jade said, this is something that is like ingrained in us, like from childhood. Come up, you go to school. It's like I remember we talk about it all the time. You go to school and they act like you're supposed to know. Like, no, I come here because I don't know.
Like, you know what I mean? That's exactly why I'm here.
Right. So it's like you get shamed for not knowing. It's like, well, if I know, I wasn't gonna be here.
Yeah.
Somehow I think it's part of the British culture.
Could be.
Be perfect and proper.
And buttoned up.
Yes,
and yes.
proper.
Yeah.
You know, showing no blemish, no
Yeah.
mistake. You know, you must be whipped into perfection.
Right.
And
right.
I think that seeped into us.
Yeah.
And we passed it on.
Yeah.
But that's why in a way I do admire certain cultures where just like, you know, just as like their American culture, some of the individuals there who talk about their journey.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
right.
I mean, the Beyoncés and so forth, people who have made it,
Right.
they don't say, well, yeah, look at me. No, yeah, just hard work. I got a big
all of
house.
us, like, I just happened to
12
just be
cars,
here.
yeah.
Because I'm amazing.
Right.
No.
I love that they talk the story.
Right.
And that's what we don't do.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think if we talk it, it's more relevant for us and we could relate to
Right.
someone here who has made it, but went through 15, 20 years.
And not only that, you know, one thing I learned too, even about talking about my struggles, like every time I talk about it, I get more revelation. Like, so like I get more revelation. So I could tell the story 20 times, but when I tell it again, it's like, oh, I never even thought
Yep.
about how this played into this. And like every time you tell it, you get more revelation, you get more wisdom out of it.
Correct.
So it's not only about sharing the wisdom, but also revealing to yourself some of the things that you went through that you might not have even noticed.
I don't want no fears.
Yeah.
If you drop down, you probably get up, dust yourself up, don't look left nor right.
What you
Just
could do?
focus on where you're supposed to.
That is it, and that is all.
Yeah.
Amen.
But you know, Ma, I think perhaps today was meant to be. It was willed, right? Right. And yeah, we appreciate you so much for coming in and just talking to us a bit about your journey, about where you're at now, and of course, wishing you more success.
Thank you. Thank
More
you.
success. Know that you're gonna draw all the,
Oh, yeah, me.
Trials
man.
and
Yeah, yeah,
tribulations.
yeah,
And they never end, eh?
They never end.
They never end.
They
But
just-
it's
you
just,
just
yeah,
They're
it's just,
new and different.
and it's after every little, you know, hiccup, go up a little higher.
Yes, you do.
A little,
You
a
do.
little higher. So definitely wishing you more and more success
Thank
on your
you so
journeys.
much, and thank you for your support for that, you know,
course.
lard soup that you normally buy.
Yeah, of course.
This is the
of
bigger
course.
man, the veggie man.
Yeah.
But yes.
Don't kind of person.
No, wait a second.
No,
That's
don't-
our little
don't-
secret.
Don't disrespect me, Lux.
Not at all. But thank you for having me.
For sure, for sure. And of course, you're always welcome back.
Oh, I got more to tell.
I'm pretty sure. I've been seeing some doting me watching
Yeah,
you now.
yeah. We're going to come through again. I'm going to come
Yeah,
through
I
again.
believe you, I
Just
believe
before the
you.
launch.
For sure, for sure. But guys, we're going to take a short break. We're going to be right back just to wrap up the show. So stick and stay. Refill your mugs. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to Sip and Chat with Azem and Jade. As usual, Jade, we've been having some really cool conversations.
Oh, that conversation made my day.
I feel a sense of upliftment.
Yes, I want the spirit of Unoma to flow through me all day today.
Okay.
Yes.
The spirit's gonna be flowing, I can tell you that. But yeah, it's been really cool. Just continually having these like awesome conversations with people. I feel like everybody, and I think one thing I realized too is like everybody got something to add to you. And
Yes.
like, I feel like sometimes we see people walking around, we don't recognize that they have things to offer as well.
No, we just think that they're going about the day and that we don't recognize the story that could possibly change the trajectory of your whole life.
Yeah.
Inspiration, Azem.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
No, I feel like we need to start putting out libations. Like I tell you what libations were before.
I think so.
Yeah. Put a little water for the ancestors and stuff.
Yeah, put it on a little window seal.
I love Jade. I ain't gonna tell you how much I love that. I love when I go to like meetings and so, and then like they have the little let's welcome the ancestor kind of thing going on.
Ooh.
Especially like when places like Guyana, it's big in Guyana or Suriname, Haiti.
So we need to make it big here.
Well, I don't know, but we saw.
It's okay.
Yeah.
We might be stuck in our ways, but we can change.
No, I mean, there's such a stigma attached to anything that does not fall within the realm of like Christianity.
Yeah.
That we yeah. Anything spiritual, not recognizing that religion and spirituality aren't necessarily the same. They overlap in certain areas, but they're not the same. So it's like, for instance, do you believe that you can't be a Christian if you don't just like thank your grandmother for looking out for you?
No, that don't make sense. And the thing is, right? We would praise certain practices in Christianity that would overlap into spirituality. But when we do it, that is outside of Christianity, or you worship the devil, or Obia is bad, or all these things. Like, no, that's not how it works. You don't get to pick and choose which spiritual being or which spiritual practice you believe in just because it doesn't fall within your religion. I think that stifles us because we have so many religious practices that we just forgot because they weren't deemed normal or Christian or whatever it is.
Yeah. We definitely were pulled away from a lot of our native like practices, like cultural, religious practices, definitely. But I always like the libations. And the thing is, like, you go to like even in the stores here, you're going to certain stores that are owned by people from different cultural backgrounds, religious backgrounds. They display their things. It's a big part of their life in more than just like a worship service on a particular day.
Yeah, I have a client that every time I go to his office, he does his spiritual thing before he
has a before they have the
Yeah.
The things when I was younger, I didn't see the importance of traditionalism and the importance of like just keeping these practices going. But as I become more and more let's say aware of the importance of society and all the things that are necessary to keep society strong and going and that kind of thing. All of these things are very important. Like traditions, we can't get rid of our traditions.
We shouldn't.
Like we have this thing a lot of times where we want to advance, and we believe that we can't advance while holding on to traditionalism. One of the things that I always like most about this particular movie is the fact that it shows the possibility of a society that is very technologically advanced and advancing and very much into technology, but also very much into traditionalism and tradition is Black Panther. Like that was one of the big things that I liked most about the movie.
The first one.
Well, they showed that in the second one as well. Second one wasn't really Black Panther. It was like Brown Panther or something. Brown fish. It was like brown fish. Yeah. But yeah, the fact that you had so much traditionalism and like even just in terms of our dress and stuff like that, I wish we could get back to some of that traditionalism
I
with
know,
it.
and we need to move.
Like when I
go down on a Jade, leave it for tomorrow.
when I start, even when I like wear my wraps and so, like people like there's people who would just make comments like, oh, you look like why you be a Muslim?
A terrorist.
A terrorist.
Like,
yeah, the
what?
terrorist. The terrorist was one of the main ones. Like, of course, I know a lot of it is in jest, so like I don't take it personally.
Yeah.
But the truth is that I think it makes people uncomfortable. Like it really does make people uncomfortable when I wear my wraps.
Anything that doesn't fit into their little box or their little narrative.
Right. People tell me they don't like, I don't really like when you wear the wraps then.
Well, guess who ain't wearing it for you?
But, I mean, no, but even outside of that, me hearing that, I interpret that as not so much that you don't like that I wearing the wrap, but your interpretation of what it means, or your, let's say, your inability to appreciate things outside of the norm might not really be there. So like that's the way I interpret that. But yeah, it's very interesting. I want to believe that my grandmother is interested in what I'm doing, and if there's any way for her to impact anything here to help me, that she would do that. Right? I want to believe that. Like I want to believe that even those that I don't know want the best for me and would do things to help. Right? So
I hate when people message me when you say things because dog. Are you being serious? I'm gonna show you after.
Alright. But yeah, so I mean, I'm really hoping that like we could start to foster these things. I mean, and I think what happens too is because we have this aversion to things like spirits and the past, it also doesn't allow us to celebrate those that came before us in the way they should be celebrated. And that's why even last month when there was the recognition or the remembrance of the Buckley's riot, I was so happy to see so many people there, because it's like, okay, like this is something that should have been
in place long time.
This is a huge thing, like historically, like just from a historical context.
Do not pay attention to enough history in St. Kitts and Nevis Azem.
I mean, even from a historical context, like that is something that every single person on that day should recognize. Like that today is the day. This is what happened. The names of the people that lost their lives, like, they should be on everybody's tongue. Yeah. Like it shouldn't be anything that we need to, like we know more about, you tell somebody something about the Alamo, they probably know more about that than the Buckley's riot and the living camps. But we have a lot of these things. For instance, the Christina, which was
the monument up.
The monument is up.
Did they have?
I don't know if they had the official opening.
Okay.
I don't wanna like speak, but I know it's up. But these are some of the things that we need to celebrate. We need to remember. And as a matter of fact, I'll give you another example. I always find it so interesting that the cenotaph exists in the way that it does. And when I say the way that it does, it is an amazing structure. Like the way it's built, the way it's laid out, the thought that went into it, and stuff like that. And it's important because it's our countrymen that were involved in that, but that wasn't our war. That wasn't our war, right?
No. And that has a whole monument.
And I don't mind the monument because it's us. Like we fought, we
died.
Right. But it's like, well, what about the people that fought for us even when we weren't in a position to fight for ourselves?
Yeah.
Right? And we're those monuments, we're the remembrance for those people. Like, yeah, a lot of times we just allow things to go and
we don't pay attention to it enough. It's basically like out of sight, out of mind. Until it's a day that is specified for it, and then we do all of these things. But we have to continuously celebrate. And another thing I realize is a lot of these kids, they know what happened in St. Kitts and Nevis because they're not being taught.
Jade, we don't know.
That's true.
We don't know. Like, that's the reality. Like, we don't know. So much of our history like has been lost. Just like how they don't know, we don't know either.
And if we don't know, we can't teach them. Yeah. So therein lies the problem.
I mean, I hear stories from from my grandparents about things that happened, all the people who we go and talk to, some of the things they hear is just like, what the hell? Like,
that's why I like talking to all the people. Like that's why I like.
You
to
know
talk
that's
to
my,
people,
you know that's
like,
my vibe, yeah.
Yeah, like Mr. Wilkin and like you're gonna get some stories.
But you know that's my vibe.
Yeah, boy.
You know that's my vibe.
As if we're supposed to be. Anyway,
Yeah, we'll get there.
we're in the process of doing things.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, don't turn your back on the fact that there's a past, and don't turn your back on the fact that the past continually affects the present and the future.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, big up Melly one time. When was I hope Melly funeral hasn't gone yet.
No.
Okay, because I've been waiting to hear about.
I saw a flyer that had the date on it. It was March. But when?
Like, but things like that, and so I don't think should just like fly on the come and go.
No.
They come and pass by like there was nothing. You know what I mean?
And guys, I know today's ladies. I know today's Women's Day, but please start giving these men the flowers, not just at the funerals. Watch here, what they do?
You don't know what you're hearing, eh? It's confusing. It's confusing what you're hearing.
What are you looking for? There's nothing on my phone.
No, just making sure you're not done.
No, it's still tea. It's still tea. But yeah, men deserve the flowers too, and not just at the funerals.
Oh boy.
Let me end the show on that note, because I can't even say that nice out here.
No. It's just that we're surprised. We're surprised at the niceness.
Oh.
That's all it is.
That's all I had in me for the week, so. You know.
Yeah, but guys, it has been an amazing show. Thank you so much for being a part of what it is that we do here again. But alas, we've come to the end. We gotta leave, we gotta go, we gotta disembark. So please, guys, remember to live with people with love, dignity, respect. Take some time out today, give a little shout out to the ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Let them know that you appreciate them looking out for you and you recognize their presence. And their spirituality.
Yes, take some time to recognize the beautiful, talented women of the world, you know.
Yeah, happy Women's Day.
The good women in your life.
Yeah, happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day. Happy Women's Day, definitely. I got some good women in my life, and I'm definitely grateful and thankful for their contribution to my life. So I don't know about nobody else, but I love the woman then.
That's what the pastor say.
No, he say, me not love man. I say, I love the woman then.
Okay, I got you.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, today's Women's Day, man. You gotta pick them up.
Yeah, as you should.
Yeah,
And don't feel like I'm gonna beg you all up on Men's Day, November 19th.
Oh, you went go Google to see when it's Men's Day, ain't it?
Did you see me do that? Did you see how you're supposed to give these men... No, give them the flowers. Even when they piss you off, I don't have no faith in you. This man, if you Google it, you know, I am literally on Instagram watching the picture I just posted. He can't believe that now when it's Men's Day.
Jade, nobody knows when it's Men's Day.
I just told you.
By next week that they change. You can always be 6 months away from the date that you Google it. That's the funny thing about it. But guys, appreciate you so much. Again, thank you for being here. Please guys, remember, of course, apparently it's important that I remind you, so I will. Spend more time in living your content than posting it. And please remember, you can't be everybody's cup of tea because you is not a mug. We're going to see you guys tomorrow.